Hello everybody, this is Nikki and this is my first YouTube video for my garden, so bear with me. I'm still a little sick, kind of nervous because I don't really know what I'm doing, and I think at this point I only have 1 subscriber, but you know, whatever, it'll grow. So first I'm going to give you a quick tour and then I'll go over everything. There's my pool, and so I have a lot of my container garden or my containers that are full of vegetables along the fence of the pool, all the way to over here to the back side, which those 2 are sweet potatoes. This one right here is red potatoes. This is red potatoes. I just planted these yesterday. These are going to be green beans. This little guy right here is lemongrass. And these are all peppers, different variety of peppers, sweet banana peppers, green bell peppers, cupaleño peppers, red bell peppers, yellow bell peppers. All of these are peppers, and I'll zoom in and so you guys can see some of them that are growing. And there's 1, 2, 3 decent sized ones on this plant, and then here's another small one starting to grow. Here's some back here. I didn't even know this one was even producing peppers yet. It's kind of taken a long time, but let's see, there's what, 3 on that one. I think this one has quite a few. Here's small one, come on, focus, there we go, small one. Those flowers will turn to peppers. Here's a pepper. There's one inside there, a couple right there. I don't know if this one, oh yeah, it does right there. And I'm sure if I move the flowers or the leaves around, there'll be more. Here's some different, these are, I don't even know how to say that, hold on, cupaleño peppers. And they have these longer peppers, but it also has this random kind of reddish pepper on there. Those are growing pretty good. Here's a bell pepper. I think I might be able to pick that one soon. There's some other small ones on there. There's a big pepper right there. And there's one. Let's see. And then this last pepper plant. No, it's not the last one, but this one has 1, 2, and then another one on the inside right there at the top of it, and then some other small ones. Here's some red bell peppers and yellow bell peppers. They haven't started growing yet because I planted them just a couple weeks ago, but you can see the plants are doing okay. These are just random flowers that I planted. They haven't sprouted flowers yet, but the greens are growing, and those will help to encourage bees and other pollinators to come to help pollinate all of these plants. And then here's another itty bitty, and I think this is a salsa pepper. Yeah, this is supposed to be a hot pepper. I've never had this kind before, but it's called a garden salsa pepper. So obviously it's green right now, but it's supposed to turn red. These are all of my squash plants. Now some of these, I don't know what happened. They looked fine this morning when I came out here, but I came home from work, they looked a little deflated, kind of slumped over. So I went ahead and just watered them and added some fish fertilizer. So hopefully they'll perk back up. I really don't want them to die because they're starting to flower, as you can see. And a lot of those are male flowers. But just being over here, I found a female one, and it has the difference between a male and a female. Okay, so the male flower, here's a couple. As you can see, here's the flower up top, and then here's just the skinny stem, and you can tell that's the male flower, right? And it's kind of like, you know, human anatomy. Female flower is over here, and I don't know if you can see it from. So as you can see, the flower is still at the top, but it has this swollen little fruit here. And this is squash, so this will get bigger. But what will happen, what needs to happen is in the morning, sometimes these flowers are open, the male flowers are open, and so that's how the pollen, that's where the pollen is. So these will open, there'll be a stamen that has the pollen on it, and what needs to happen by nature is once these are open, bees will come, get the pollen out of here, go to my female flower right here while it's open and pollinate it. Well, if I don't get a whole lot of bees over here, what I can do is once these male flowers are open, I can just pick them, open up the petals, and kind of rub the pollen in there myself. That way it fertilizes this fruit right here, and once it's fertilized, it'll continue to grow. Now if it doesn't get fertilized, this fruit right here will shrivel up and die. So, but this is one of the plants that when I came home today, was looking kind of, if you can see, let me back up, it's looking like, see how my leaves are just kind of slumped? This is how it's supposed to look. These are big and open, and these ones just kind of slumped over. So I gave it some fertilizer, and hopefully that will help. But here's another one. I haven't found any female flowers in there yet. Let's see. No, those are all all male flowers. So this one hasn't produced any fruits yet. Let's go look over here. And those don't even have flowers yet. So, but they're starting to get the little flower buds. So eventually they will have some. This one's looking pretty bad too. I don't know what happened, but some of these older flowers, like older dried up leaves, I'll just go ahead and take those, cut them off. But in there's also some male flowers, and actually I see a female. Oh my gosh, I see. Okay, I just got excited. So let me see if I can get in there. There, right here, this is a zucchini. Here's a female that needs to be pollinated once it's open. But I just found something else, and where did it go? It got me super excited because it's the first one I've seen. Here it is. So obviously this one was pollinated because it's starting to grow an actual zucchini. If you can see it right here. See? So that's exciting. So I need this one definitely to perk back up. This one, my goodness, this one was huge yesterday, and now it's just really pathetic. So I gave this one kind of a lot of fertilizer, and hopefully that'll help it. And then over here is little cucumber, a bush variety cucumber plant, and there are some cucumbers, and they're basically the same as the squash plants. So there's a ton of smaller male flowers in there, right there, as you can see. And then here's the female flowers, and I just got to make sure these guys get pollinated so that they grow into cucumbers. But it's the same thing. It has the flower up top, and then the fruit, I'm gonna focus, the fruit right there at the bottom. Here's another one, might be able to see that one better, right there. So I just got to get those pollinated so they grow. I planted some lavender here yesterday, so that isn't even close to being ready. So we went through all the squash, zucchini, cucumbers, peppers on this side, potatoes, and what have you. So you come over here, and I apologize for this ratchet looking strawberry plant, but that died a couple of weeks ago, so no bueno. Here's my tomato plant, and I see a problem already. Looks like something got to one of my tomatoes. So that tells me, one, that they're doing pretty good, but I need to protect my tomatoes. So what I'm going to do in a little bit is come out here with some nylon and kind of cover them up, make sure no bird, that looks like a bird got to that. So I got to take care of that ASAP because I have a ton of tomatoes. As you can see, there's that one, that's no good. Two other ones that are getting ripe, getting red, and then you see the other two bigger green ones. Here's 3 other green ones over here, and then here's 2 small ones. And actually with tomatoes, they're kind of self-pollinating. There aren't visible male-female plant flowers. So what I do to make sure that these get pollinated is I'll find the flowers right here, just kind of tap them, kind of mimics what the bees do. So I'll tap them and that will drop the pollen, and the rest is nature. They'll pollinate themselves once I do that. Let's go look at this other one. These are looking pretty good. I don't see any pest or bug damage. Here's a pretty big one that should start turning red soon. There's a smaller one back there. Here's some more. And the crazy thing is I don't even eat tomatoes, but I'm gonna make my own salsa and marinara sauces, so I decided to plant them. And there's one there. Oh, there's one on the ground right there. But I still have quite a few. This is a watermelon plant. It's doing pretty good. It was super small before, so I'm just kind of letting this grow. There's no, oh yes there are. I take that back. Here are some flowers, and it's the same with the squash and cucumbers. Those are male flowers because I don't see any female bulbs on them. These are carrots. I just planted these not very long ago, so it's going to be a while for that, but if you can zoom in, you can kind of see that they are starting to sprout, so hopefully it won't be very long. Here's another cucumber plant, and these ones I hand pollinated some of these last week and they're growing pretty good. So there's one that I hand pollinated. There's a big one that's growing right there. I'll pick that in a few days. There's a couple of other ones. I kind of have to go spelunking because these guys are just, they're hidden all over the place. Here's an open male flower right there. They're pretty. This guy is growing. I might actually pick him. He's getting to be a little bit chubby. Are there any more? I don't see any other ones, but you know, they'll come. And this big viney guy right here, that is another watermelon plant. And this one I'm having trouble getting to hand pollinate. There are a lot of male flowers all over the place, but I'll show you. Here's a female flower that didn't get pollinated. Let me try to zoom in. So you can see right here, it had its bulb. The flower on top fell off, but it didn't get pollinated, so it dried up and died. So I have to do better at coming out here and trying to find them before they dry up and die so that I can have some watermelon plants. But there's a ton of male flowers everywhere, so I just got to get out here. This is part of my raised bed. So these are some red onion plants growing all up and down here. There's a couple right here. This was a cilantro, but it has bolted and went to seed because of the heat. So now you can see there's flowers on there, but there's also these little seeds that I can pick and harvest and save for next year, or if I wanted to plant it again. But right now it's too hot for those, because as you can see with my basil, same thing kind of happened, but I can still harvest basil. It grew pretty big, but there's flowers at the top for my green basil, my sweet basil, purple basil. Here's a basil plant that's kind of hidden from the sun, so it's actually thriving pretty good, so I can still use that. I have a couple of green bean plants in here. Let's see if I can find you. See, there's some hanging. I've actually harvested a few off of here, and I probably need to come out here because I'm seeing quite a few. Yep, see, I'm seeing quite a few beans in there that I need to go ahead and pick before the rodents do. I don't want to say rodents, before the pests do and before anything comes out here. And this is my corn. I don't know how this is going to turn out, because after I planted this, I found out that you have to kind of plant corn, multiple plants together, because they cross-pollinate, and I only planted one plant, so it had no other corn plant to pollinate with. But it's growing and it's doing fine, and there's 2 corn husks on here, so we'll just have to kind of see. But this is pretty tall. It's taller than I am. And here's one of the corn husks, and it feels pretty firm. And here's the other one, so I guess I'll just kind of wait and see to see if that turns out. And here's another portion of my raised bed. Now, there's a lot in here, and I have it written down, but I kind of forgot what I planted. So right here I believe is what is called a Tokyo bunching onion, right here in this first square. And the second square is supposed to be some basil, which you can see right here, but I think one of my bunching onion seeds also planted right here. So looks like basil and onions are planted together. These tall plants right here are sunflowers, and here's corn. And I did a little better on this side because after I did my research I tried again, so we'll see if I have better luck with these ones. So I see a little pest in there. When you come out here you got to get the pest out. I think I got it. But there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 corn husks. They're getting to be pretty big. Let me step in this bed. I haven't put anything in here yet, but there's carrots right there that I planted a while ago. I believe this is spinach, this tall plant, but it's too hot for the spinach, so it bolted. So I don't think I'll be able to even eat any of the spinach right there because it's too hot. And then behind there is some other yellow and red bell peppers. And then I have some other more peppers right here. I think these are yellow. They haven't started to grow yet, but yeah, the sign says yellow. These are probably yellow too. And I think these two are red peppers. That little guy right there, that is a blueberry tree. It's pretty new, so it's not doing much now. And then that bigger bush right there is some mint. And this is just a big barrel of random flowers that will sprout flowers and eventually encourage more bees. So that's it in a nutshell. Eventually I will fill this bed with soil and plant stuff in there too, but I feel like I'm kind of not necessarily overwhelmed, but I have a lot to keep up with as it is. So I might just kind of wait to see. But here's some little pretty flowers that are starting to bloom as well. And I think these are edible. I'll have to double check inside, but I think these are edible as well. So, but I just wanted to plant them to try to get, you know, more pollinators. Back there is my compost pile. I put shredded paper, coffee grounds, eggshells, food scraps, vegetable and fruit scraps, stuff in there. These are sweet potatoes. I think I came over here already. These are sweet potatoes. They won't be ready for another couple months, but they've been planted for about 3 weeks or so now, and it's actually starting to vine up the fence. So I don't need a trellis for that since it's using the fence. And that's it. And you know, this is my first major garden. I'll show you my garden bed that I used last year and then compare it to what I've done this year. A little small garden bed. This little itty bitty thing I built myself last year. Had no idea what I was doing. Still don't have an idea what I'm doing, but YouTube has definitely helped. But I went from this to this in a year. And it's going pretty good. So I will keep you guys updated. And well, thanks to my 1 subscriber. Sorry, it's probably a crazy looking video. I'm still trying to learn, but I'll get it together. Well, thanks, and see you on my next video. Bye.